Hey, friends and neighbors, send me your ears. No, don't. That would be a FedEx. That'd be horrific. Keep your ears on your head and listen to this podcast, because that's what you're doing by doing this. So thank you. Welcome to, I'm here for you. I'm Bob. And this is an episode that I love doing where I get to call people and see how they're doing. So these episodes mean a lot to me because I get to connect with people, and we all need connection right now more than ever, right? So a couple things, the normal announcements. You want to do the subscribe and listen or follow, depending on how you listen to this. And then you get it, and it's free. You know how it works. And what can I tell you? Up at the top is a number you can call when I make these special episodes where I get to call you guys. I tell you on Twitter and Instagram stories and Facebook when I'll be calling. And so this is one of those moments where a bunch of people have left messages and want to converse and talk about stuff. And I'm trying to stay out of politics because I don't think I should run because I really don't know much. But wait a minute. That would make me a great candidate. But I'm trying to, I don't know. Today's a day where I don't know about you guys, but I just can't fucking take it. So I'm just tired of it and want to hear how you guys are doing. So that makes me feel kind of good. I ain't pulling no doctor thing. Dr. Oz, I think he was on the news giving advice. I guess he knows things like lower back pain. Anyway, I'm going to call some people and see how you guys are. This is Jacob. And I think Jacob is in, I don't know, Santa Fe? I'm not sure.
Hello.
Hey, Jacob, Bob Saget. How you doing?
Good.
So I listened to your message. I mean, how could I not call you? I mean, you have wonderful things to offer. Are you doing all right? Are you hanging in?
I am hanging in there, man. I'm doing good. And you just made the rest of my year, man. I mean, considering this whole year's been shit, it didn't take much, but I mean,
that's right. Yeah,
name,
I'm like
it's so good to hear your voice.
Oh, thanks. That's really nice. So where are you? Are you in like Santa Fe?
I am in White Rock, New Mexico, which is just outside of Los Alamos, New Mexico.
Oh, there's a power plant there.
Well, there's a laboratory there, and that's where they made the bomb.
That's awesome. Do they give tours of it?
Yeah, they have a history museum. A friend of mine did go into like a secured part of the lab where there's like armed guards and there's absolutely zero fucking around. Like,
right.
Those guys are like serious. You can't even like talk.
But there's nothing active there. There's no actual working going on, right? Nothing's operative, right?
Well, there's a plutonium facility. There's explosions going off.
Seriously?
Well, I can hear it. Like they're nearby.
Are the explosions underground?
No. Most of the time, I think they're doing like hydro tests.
Jeez, why are they doing this? I mean, could you walk in there with like a microwave? Could you go in there with like a Hot Pockets, Jim Gaffigan's favorite food, frozen, and then it would just get nuked and cooked just by being in there?
There's certain areas that have been like paved over where you might be able to cook a Hot Pocket.
Oh my God, I wouldn't go in there. I mean, in radiation, I'd be scared.
Yeah, well, it's pretty minimal, and the traces in the water are very low.
Well, that's comforting. That's good. So now, have you been in the quarantino? Have you been doing all that? Or are you kind of living your life or working?
I am in a very small community, so it's like the person-to-person contact's pretty low. So I just like go to the store and stay in my apartment. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that, and they're probably getting sick a lot less. I have a friend I need to visit in the hospital, and I'm like, oh, man, what do? I guess I will do it and then get a COVID test right after. Just wear I'll wear a visor. I'll wear a scuba outfit. I'll go in a diving
man,
bell.
I have a video on YouTube that has me suiting up in like full hazmat just to go to Walmart.
That's funny. That's very funny.
Yeah.
Where can people see that?
The real after laugh.
Okay. That's it. People are going to be finding it now. You're going to get people to just cloud around that.
Well, I hope so.
Now, you had a joke for me, right? And it seemed funny to me from what I could tell. So why don't you just tell me what it was again so I can... I mean, it's a dick joke of sorts, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah, it was... I asked my girlfriend what's more important, having a sense of humor or dick size. And she said, having a sense of humor. That way we can both laugh at your dick.
See, that's kind of a well-constructed joke. That's really good. And but why would you be laughing at your dick? That's the problem. I mean, it's one thing for her to, but for you two, you can't be that self-deprecating. That's so sad. I mean, if you wake up in the morning and you've got, you got the morning wood, which a lot of people get, and and if you're laughing at it, it's like you're kind of roasting your own dick. It's kind of, it doesn't seem right. I think my dick would get mad if it had a brain, if I was laughing at it. It obviously doesn't have a brain. I mean, I've done things I don't remember with it, but
your heart has a brain, so it is connected like directly to your heart, right? So
the heart has a brain?
It does have a kind of a brain.
I didn't know that. I thought the brain operated all of it. The brain in your actual skull, but
yeah. Well, it's that's your main CPU unit, but there's like secondary operations in your heart.
I didn't know that. I'm excited to have a second brain. So you're saying it's like a car. It's like the thing that would, you got your battery, but then you have the battery in the front also.
Well, it's like why you can feel heartbreak.
Yeah, well, that's feeling, but that comes from your brain, doesn't it? No, you're right. But that does come from the brain. You're feeling it. And then when something terrible happens, yeah, you could actually have a heart attack from it, or you feel
right.
People that are in relationships that break up, and a lot of people.
There.
Yeah, I've had heartbreak a lot, and I've had a lot of loss in the family and people I care about. So yeah, it's true heartache, and we get out of it.
I hear you, Bob.
Yeah. Well, dick size definitely is something that can cheer up anybody. And if you can laugh at honestly, you brought up something really philosophical. If you can laugh at your dick and your girlfriend can laugh at your dick and you do that together, you have a really self-effacing sense of humor, and she and you can.
And solid relationship like that,
Well, that's the best during this time is to have a firm and hard relationship, just to add penis metaphors, but you wouldn't be doing it. You can't reverse it because you don't want to me too your penis. You don't want to.
No.
You can't put the shoe on the other body and do that. Back in the day, I guess. No, I don't think so. You'd have to be pretty foul to do that to a lady, or to do it to another person. But it's great if you're laughing at your dick. They say if you can laugh at your dick, the whole world laughs with you at your dick. It's a very.
I agree.
Yeah, I think you've enlightened me today, Jacob. I want to thank you for calling. You kind of made me feel good. Thank you so much, man.
You know what? You make me feel good too, Bob. This podcast really helped me out in a crucial time in my life where I was out in the woods and I really didn't have much to do but listen to a podcast and just it was entertaining. It helped me through. And thanks, man. And
that means a lot to me. Thank you. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for people, and I'm doing it for me because I'm connecting. Huh.
Well, I appreciate it. And like I said, man, I love you.
Right back at you. Thank you so much. and stay well, and keep laughing at your penis.
I am gonna laugh at it right now.
Okay, great. Good time to hang up. Once it comes out, once you take the wrapping off and the bow, just you can hang up.
All right.
Be well, man. Thanks.
You too.
Thank you.
Peace.
Okay, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. This is really fun for me, honestly. I'm going to call somebody named Amanda because it seems like she's a really good person, and it's always nice to talk to a person that's a good person and not angry. And it felt from this message that she's not angry at all. So this should be fun.
Hello?
Hi, Amanda. It's Bob Saget here.
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear it's not somebody with a Bob Saget impersonating thing going. How are you?
Bob Saget voice box. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's an app where someone can sound like me.
It's like Scream, but Bob Saget version.
Exactly. It's just you talk into it and it just comes out as me. Well, you left a nice message. You said some real nice stuff. So I wanted to know what's what's on your mind, and you seem like a positive person during this crazy world we're in.
I'm trying, man. I'm really trying.
Yeah. Where are you located? Where do you live?
I'm in Indiana, but I'm not one of those Hoosiers, so don't hold it against me.
Oh no, I love it in Indiana. I spent a lot of time. I was supposed to be in Indianapolis, I think, recently. It would have been if I'd have done the shows, if we weren't shut down like we are. But
right,
because I gotta make people laugh and enjoy the craft of it and the love of it. But
right.
Yeah, you had a couple of things you wanted to bring up, and I'll let you say them because I can't even go there.
Okay, well, yeah. First one is a little random. The Aristocrats.
Right, which is a lovely.
Infamous,
it's not the Disney movie. It's the.
Right. It's the other one for the whole family.
Yeah, you don't want to get those DVDs mixed up for the kids.
Yeah, so one of the most, if you're of age, adult, highly recommend it. Just a hilarious documentary, and what a good time to watch it while you're locked up in COVID lockdown.
It's interesting. I don't think they could make it now. I think with a lot of cancel culture, the subject matter, there's so much in it that's wrong. That's true. That's the purpose of it, though. The purpose of it was telling a joke that is the dirtiest joke ever told, and I'd only heard it twice. It's not really a good joke.
Right. It's a horrible joke, but to me, that just makes it funnier.
Right. And it's the improv of how everybody else does it. And some people go, well, that's not a joke. Even in the documentary, Chris Rock was like, I don't tell that, And then Robin Williams, bless him, told another joke. And, I think it was, you didn't just come here to hunt, I think was the joke. I'm not sure. But I think that was it. And Drew Carey did the same joke. They were intercutting. But my version was kind of like jazz with a lot of filth in it. But
right. And you were getting ready to go on stage and do some stand-up. Right. And you did not get to finish the end of your joke.
Yeah, you're one of the few people that noticed that. I was about to say this. It's a family, for people that don't know. I'm not going to tell it, but it's a family that is so desperate to get into showbiz and meet an agent and get him to represent them that they'll do anything. And they do anything. And it's horrific. And it's the unthinkable. And they do unthinkable acts with each other, to each other. And then when
truly the unthinkable.
It's the unthinkable. And everyone tells it differently. It depends on how far you want to push the boundaries of taste. And then at the end, they're done. Ta-da! And the agent goes, what do you call yourselves? And they're supposed to go, whoever it is, the Aristocrats. And that's not a joke. It's kind of someone from the 20s or something. Not this 100 years ago. And Although right
Right.
now it feels like that's where we are. Just a couple of
In
people.
so many ways.
Oh my God, people in the woods, with their families right now. That's how they're getting through this quarantine hoax. They just do that. They just do that without auditioning for an agent. But I don't know. But the end of it, I literally was gonna say the punchline, which I didn't get, and do the little snap of the. They had to show me Paul Provenza and Penn Jillette, the directors of the movie, had to show me what that little move was, where you do a little snap. That's the
Right.
trademark of the end of the joke. And they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Saget," and I had to rush to the stage. And it's like I didn't even care because the end of the joke doesn't matter.
So betrayed. You had to go to the show. I don't hold it against you, but man, I was waiting for that Saget finish. I just couldn't.
I think it was going to be
It's haunted me.
The baby's
It has haunted
first,
me for years.
I think I was going to make it the baby's first words. I think. That was, I think, and then the baby was going to do the snap, and that to me would have given it a funny thing because the baby never.
That's so beautiful.
But that baby, having witnessed that horrific insanity, that's what gets the baby to talk. I don't know, or it's the last words of the grandmother. That would have been the other choice. I like extremes,
right?
So. But now,
yeah,
people have asked me to tell it on stage, and there's no purpose. I mean, it's not. It's just not now, and it's not who I am. It's where we were at that moment in time, and it was basically about censorship. It's a movie about censorship, and George Carlin said, "This is not a joke. You should tell people. This should be told behind a trash bin out back or whatever, a dumpster in the alley, with just your friends, and just to make people laugh." And not that they would ever do those things. That's the important part. It's not an instruction manual. So,
God forbid. It was just, honestly, it was just something that never left me from the movie, that you never got to finish that joke.
That's so
and
funny.
Obviously you can't, there's no point. The times have changed. I kind of honestly chalk it up to the internet. I think that we just are able to understand each other so much more quickly than we were decades ago, and so we're rapidly coming to understandings of what's acceptable and not. So it's not.
But that's ever changing.
It never was truly funny.
But
it was
right. It was just wicked.
Right.
It's like a 12-year-old kid doing what they're told not to do. And that's when I was telling jokes that were that gross. A lot of the jokes I heard when I was a teenager were just filth for the sake of filth. And that's what a mischievous kid like myself, who was trying to make friends, would subscribe to. And
oh, absolutely. I was a purveyor of filth back in the day.
Right. So here's a question for you. How are you getting through this time? I mean, obviously comedy's important. And are you watching shows that feel good?
Okay, I am, but I know that Danny Tanner is like kind of a bad word.
Yeah, that's the curse word.
I know. I'm so sorry, but honestly, so on top of COVID, I bought a house recently, and 2 weeks into owning it, I promptly broke my leg.
Oh no! How'd you do that?
I'm feeling like double trapped right now, and I need to find things that are just feel good. And if there's any, conflict, it's easily resolved. That or something just incredibly spooky.
Right.
Those are the kind of shows I'm after right now.
Horror stuff you like.
Right.
Well, there's a show that I finished watching with my wife, which is Utopia on Amazon, and it's got a lot of horror stuff in it, but it's very well done, really well done. And it kind of is about, how messed up the future could be, which a lot of shows have been. They're very much, before where we are now, we're already being scripted and written, 2 years ago. So there's all these things like Brave New World, but Apple TV has a show that I've fallen in love with, and it's Ted Lasso, and it's Jason Sudeikis' show, and I recommend it. If you don't have Apple TV, it's worth getting it just for this show. This, every episode's like 25 minutes, and it's so heartwarming. It's in the middle of all this other stuff. It just feels good, kind of like Schitt's Creek did. It just has this.
Oh God.
Right.
My entire family, huge Schitt's Creek fans.
It's so good, right? Because it pulls people out of stereotypes and hatred and people you wouldn't normally like. You have empathy for. It's just a perfect, obviously a perfect show. This Ted Lasso, he's a fish out of water. He's a football coach in England, and it's soccer. Sorry, and it's so strong. And Jason Sudeikis is just—it's unbelievable how wonderful he is. So I recommend.
And
that.
he's just so likable. I mean, he's one of those people that everything you watch and he's in it, it
makes your heart feel good.
Can't help but smile. Yeah.
I actually tweeted that I loved the show, and he direct messaged me back and said, "Bob, thanks so much for liking the show, and thank my wife also because he saw that she tweeted." That's just not normal that people. Especially in my business, everybody's too cool for school, and everybody's riding all of the politics trains right now.
Which is another reason I'm still in shock that I'm on the phone with Bob Saget. People just don't care. It's all about.
Yeah, they want to start a fight, and I get involved when I watch the news. I get upset because I go, "That's not true."
Oh, I do too.
I go, "That's a lie. That's a lie." What do they do? And I hear it on everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. Some places you can get more lies. But why don't people see the lies? That's what I don't get. So that's how we all have to stick together and try to let our minds go toward positive stuff.
Just got to keep your head down and power through it is what I try to do.
Just golf through life.
Many TV mottos you got to have.
Yeah. I'm sorry about your leg. What happened? How'd that happen?
I got up to the... My house has an above ground pool, and I got up to the top of the pool ladder and then got in the pool the wrong way and went on the ground instead.
You should have had that on video. I could have gotten it to Vinda Bona. Alfonso could have run it. Above ground pools are still a staple of that show.
Yeah, but I broke the smaller bone in my leg, fortunately, not the bigger one, but I also kind of rearranged my ankle in a way that it didn't want to be rearranged. So,
well, sometimes you got to
several weeks ago, though.
When you rearrange stuff, it's nice. You put the chair by the door, different things. I'm always thinking
right.
Decorating.
Feng Shui is a little bit different with anatomy, though. You want to there's some things that are best left alone, and I've learned that bones in my ankle would be among the top on my list.
What's the bone that's the most hurt?
Right now, whatever's hurting most, I think, is just the metal that they had to put in. I have rods and screws and all that fun stuff. And, but it was just a smaller one. I didn't break, there's the tibia and the fibula. Oh, I'm going to sound so stupid.
Well, the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone, and the thigh bone's connected to the hip bone. So
they're all connected. Not for a couple weeks they weren't. So but I'm on the mend.
Are you in a cast? Are you in a cast right now?
I was. I'm in the boot now. I'm still not weight bearing, so I'm literally just. I've been kind of stuck in bed. They have these scooters now that you can use instead of crutches, and they're just ridiculous looking. I bought a bicycle bell for mine because they have little bicycle handlebars and then a cushion that you kneel on, and they're kind of fun if your leg wasn't broken.
Right.
So I've got that for when I need to get up for something, and other than that, I've got the whole lineup: Netflix, Hulu, and
we're living on
getting by.
Thank goodness we have that stuff right now. I never thought.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine?
I'm sucking it all up. I'm watching as much as I can, and then I'm going. Well, now we have to wait 3 years for the next season, and we don't know what's going to happen. We just don't know. We literally don't know. Anything can happen, and we just have to move ahead. People with good hearts and good heads have to just be positive, and then watch all the shows you're watching. It's
right.
And heal. You got to heal. You got to heal so you can get back up on your feet. But I just picture you with no cast on, just going around town on your scooter, and just maybe you should start robbing banks.
I've consider it. It's an option. I've never taken that option off the table.
I want my listeners to know that is not something that I condone. I don't.
Not officially endorsed by Bob Saget.
Bob
or his
told me,
sponsors.
well, they'll be wearing Bob Saget masks, like how people always wore Nixon masks.
If I get
all
my
the
Bob
movies.
Saget mask with my Bob Saget voice box and Rob Banks, I think I'll be safe.
Yeah.
You might have some people knocking, but I will be fine.
It'll be like some kind of wonderful fantasy film where they could say Bob Saget robbed 12 banks today. And they'll say, guys, I'm just at home. And then they'll take me away. I would do it. I would do it just to show that, that
you really are here for us.
I am. That's exactly right.
As the name of the segment says.
Yeah. I would do it for everyone.
I wouldn't do it though. I would not take you away from the people. What you're doing with this just sparks so much joy in people. You absolutely made my month. Granted, the bar was extremely low, but I mean,
I like that.
2020 has
made
been
my
a year,
life.
But I got to talk to Bob Saget, man.
I killed a trail of ants, and I talked to Bob. Those are the two big things that happened. Well, you take care of yourself, and thanks so much for calling in, and be well. Be well.
Thanks. You too. Stay safe and stay happy and keep doing what you're doing, honestly. Just having people like you that are reaching out and that actually care seriously helps so many people, probably more than you know, just get through the day right now.
Well,
so thank you. Thank you very much.
You're making me tear up, so you're responsible.
Aww.
You're responsible for
tears,
my
Johnson.
Johnson. Wow. That's great. I haven't. I won't even go there because I've already Aristocrats.
Right.
I don't think anybody
We've already
brought
touched
up
on the Aristocrats. We can't touch it again.
Right. Can't touch your Johnson. So I can't believe some people call it a Johnson. I don't even understand. Anyway, on that note, thanks so much for calling.
On that note, thank you.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That was so sweet. Wow. I wish her so much easy recovery and physical therapy for everybody. Physical therapy for everybody. We'll be right back. I'm calling Martin in London, who's sounds like he's a professional radio guy. I'm not sure, but I'm going to find out.
Hello.
Martin, Bob Saget here. How are you?
Hi, it's Neil.
Oh, it's Neil. Why does it say Martin?
Martin's my surname.
Oh,
Martin's my surname.
Oh, got it. Hi, Neil.
Hi.
How are you holding up, sir?
Doing well.
Did I wake
it's been
you?
A few months now.
What time is it now?
No. It's 10:15.
Oh,
Not
good.
bad at all.
Good. I did see in the notes here that you're a CEO of a national charity for Jewish young children in England and Scotland and Wales.
That's very true, yes.
That's pretty
the
wonderful.
Last 15 years.
Yeah, so the whole world is dealing with this stuff going on, with this, I guess, anti-Semitism. Is that what you're kind of finding and dealing with?
Well, I can't downplay that particularly, but I think what's important is that everybody is suffering because of this pandemic, and and it's unbelievable. We have to deal with other things as well, for all races and issues, etc. But more recently, in the last few months, it's been more about how do you look after young people that are stuck at home, their parents stuck at home, etc. And the whole world is suffering. But of course, that doesn't mean the crap goes away.
Yeah. And people don't even know in the United States that it's really hit England incredibly hard, and they've tried to open kind of like a lot of cities in the U.S. have, and it's pretty bad, right?
Well, it's complicated. I think that in the same way we see news in other countries, and we certainly see what's going on in your country, that things you see what's happening, and around the world. It's a great place to be a British Jew. I have to tell you here, we've been here for hundreds of years now. We've been running our organisation for 125 years, and I was just, in fact, as a charity, Prince Charles has just become our patron, so it's a great place to be British and Jewish here.
Yes.
But there have been a few things going on that are not very nice, that have made people worry, and of course across Europe, etc., and around the world. But one mustn't, I guess, confuse the two. So it's great to be here. We're very lucky to be here and in other places, but there are things going on that are also pretty naff.
Yeah, I love it so much in London. I so much. I mean, I've thought about living there, and to be. I don't think
you were doing a show here last year on the one date that I couldn't go. I think I had a work meeting, so I couldn't be there. But you did. I think it was Leicester Square Theatre.
Yeah,
I was desperate to see you. I think it was last year.
I loved it so much. I just wanted to, and it was interesting. My wife and I were actually on our honeymoon, but London was the first stop. And I said, "Sweetheart, is it okay?" She said, "No, I'd love you to do it." And here I am in the West End in a lovely space, and the audience was just so special and so smart and so comedy astute, and I felt like. And a lot of the people that I look up to in my life, Monty Python, I met Benny Hill. I did a TV show once. I mean,
wow.
Dudley Moore. I mean, the people that I looked up to the most, Peter Sellers, in comedy, are British, and people sometimes fail to realize that it all came from there. We weren't in the United States. There wasn't one, and comedy was being written, and performed. But then we had our honeymoon. After doing the show, I was able to when you perform stand up, you are a broadcaster, right?
Well, no. We are now. I run a charity for young people, but because we can't do physical activities and youth activities and all kinds of programs that we do across the country, we've gone virtual. So since March 23rd, we've become an online broadcaster. We've done 80 shows and 200 hours of programming.
Right.
And we reached out to people across the world. And Jeff Garland's been on to our program, Phil Rosenthal, etc. We hope you might do it too. But around the world,
I would love to do it. Absolutely.
That's amazing. But yeah, so we now become an expert youth, and it's all hosted by young people, and our volunteers help run the program 3 hours a night every night. We've done since lockdown started in March. And so we've become experts in that, and that's basically because we can't meet in our local. We've got groups around the country, and across London, Manchester, Liverpool, Cardiff, Glasgow, etc. But we're not allowed out in the ways that we used to be, and so we turn to virtual activities. It's been a lifesaver for all of us, for the volunteers and the staff, just as much as the kids and the parents.
And I think it might be more of a new world for us in this way. Things with Zoom and all the different apps that are going to come out we haven't even seen yet. I do think it's going to be a way of doing benefits, of doing virtual live streaming meetings. People that normally would wait to fly into a city to meet won't be doing that anymore. It'll really become part of our world, like we're watching, Minority Report.
Absolutely.
And I think
it doesn't replace face to face, but it does do so much more. And if this pandemic had happened even 10 years ago, it would have been far more awful. And I think technology's been an unsung hero, especially considering for so many years it's been, social media especially, has been the scourge of so many things. Actually, without Zoom and without House Party and without WhatsApp, etc., this would have been an awful experience in the last 6 months.
Yeah, horrific. And I have a benefit. I lost a sister to a scleroderma, and so we're doing a benefit virtual October 18th, and I've got Jeff Garland and literally every comedian you can think of.
Amazing.
And Bill Burr and Regina Hall and John Mayer singing, and it's just really quite special. And it couldn't have happened.
I was listening last night to your episode with Jeff Ross came out yesterday.
Yeah.
On the podcast. I listened to it yesterday, and that made me go and watch your roast again. So it's but Jeff Garland was on as well. So it was
Jeff Garland
working late into the night.
Is such a good friend and such a sweet guy.
Hilarious.
He's, you could watch everything he does on Curb is just him. I mean, he is that guy.
Well, unbelievable. He did an hour and a half with us on the young people, and it was a riot. It was absolutely hilarious.
Oh.
And they asked all the questions, etc. He talked about the Goldbergs. He talked about Curb. Talked about being Jewish and growing up in Chicago, etc. And it could have been more of a mensch. She was unbelievable, hilarious.
Well, please reach out to me, and I'll definitely do it. And I'm in. So we'll plan a time to do that.
But I tell you that working with young people on a daily basis of mainly the Jewish community, but we do a lot of interfaith work with Christian, Muslim, and Sikh young people as well. Like in the song, what's it from South Pacific? You've got to be taught. And when these kids work together,
I have used that in stand-up. You've got to be taught to hate. You've got to be carefully taught. Is that song, which means someone really has to sit you down and tell you how other people are different than you, and that makes them bad. And obviously, with what's happened in our country with racial inequality, and you just didn't think all that hate was there, and then it just gets doubled down, and then the news takes that clip and runs with it, and it just accelerates it and mass produces it, and it's everywhere. And it's humanity's job to somehow police all of the crap we're being fed and suppress.
It's a perfect storm.
And it is a perfect storm. Lightning hit in every direction, and we've got a lot of work to do because it seems impossible. I mean, the kids today, I hate to say that, but if I'm 20 today, I'm going like, what's the point? What's the point? It's all fucked. I mean, how are we going to... That no one cares about the environment if you're an intelligent, caring 20-year-old, or if you've been carefully taught that it doesn't matter. The earth is here to be used and take everything out of it, and it doesn't matter. It's God's will or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I believe in people.
I have great faith in the not in a religious way. That's a separate matter. It's more. I have great faith in I see young people, what they stand up. This is the work that we do, and they care about, supporting the elderly, doing remote Zooms into care homes because they can't visit people, etc. Supporting interfaith stuff. Young Jewish people passionately getting involved in Black Lives Matter campaigns, etc. I see what's to come with the next generation.
I see
and
that
quite
also.
frankly, they're leading already. They're leading already.
I have that with my daughters.
So we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughters are amazing, and they're really concerned about the world, and they want there to be a world. So, and there will be. I'm optimistic also. We've all seen bad things happen. I have a cousin that went to Vietnam, and he was sprayed by Agent Orange, and he came back to the U.S. It took him 10, 15 years, and he finally passed away. It might have been 20 years, and it was so sad to watch. There's all these atrocities. But mankind is definitely not perfect.
We've seen it before. We work very closely in the UK with not to like dog and anymore, but very closely with kids working and learning from Holocaust survivors, and they just show you that you can have the worst of humanity thrown at you, and thrive, make a new life, have kids in a family, and defiantly have great grandchildren, and be in your 80s and 90s, and only believe in hope and peace and not hate. So if they can do it, we can do it.
Yes, I have a friend. Our Tonight Show here was produced. Johnny Carson was the star and the producer.
Yeah.
Well, I have a friend who's he's an elderly man now and a producer in showbiz, and he was a child of Sobibor. So he was in a concentration camp as a child and got out as a child, but never forgot what he witnessed. So it was like Life is Beautiful to see that, and then to come to Los Angeles and wind up in show business. But there's something...
there's so many of them.
There's so many of them. Thank goodness there's so many of them that they didn't exterminate them
Listen
all.
a lot to Gilbert Scott's podcast, and I'm a big fan of American comedy, so I know these things, hence driving you all mad. But even the Bomber Command stuff of Norman Lear and the things that they did in the Second World War, and what Mel Brooks, they've got a whole legend of people that are American television and film.
Yes.
But in their late teens, they were fighting in the war.
Norman, I was with him a few days ago, and we talked about it again, that he was in a plane and he opened the door, the bay door, and they dropped bombs.
Yeah.
And you would have enjoyed that room. It was It was Phil Rosenthal.
I saw the photo on. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we took it down because we didn't appropriately have masks on. So I'll put it up again when we do it next week. We can't.
People seem to be very, very intent on. There seems to be a new hobby now on social media of tell people they're not correctly social distancing the photo, even if that photo was done in a certain way or even taken months ago. People say it's a new hobby of people to be quick on the draw to pick up on social media photos without checking first whether or not it was handled correctly. It seems to be the new hobby of people.
Oh, it's just wonderful. Everybody's a critic. Everyone's sarcastic. Everyone is full of picking things apart, telling you doing something wrong. And cancel culture, you could do. I mean, I could send a tweet right now I'd be done. You know, you word it right, you're just done. You know.
You can end your career in 140 characters.
It'd be so great.
Quite easily.
I could do it in 10. I use a couple of emoticons and I'm done. Anyway, it is a pleasure to know you. It is a pleasure to talk to you. I really appreciate you calling
really,
me.
really grateful you rang, and I want to thank you for entertaining me, because it's at night time after work, listening to different podcasts, especially the comedian ones, and yours as it come online in the last few months, has honestly been a godsend of fun. And it's great to listen to other people from around the world sharing their stories and you reaching out.
And you realize how close, that means a lot to me, but you do realize how close we all are. And that's the positive of this weird time, that I am so passionate about my podcast. And I started it before quarantine. I did 2 episodes in studio and that was it. Took the podcast board home, or they brought it to me. And to be able to talk to you, this probably would not have happened had we not been going through what we're going through. You wouldn't have.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So
There's great things to come out of it. Yeah.
I believe that.
Mindful of all the people, sadly, that have lost their lives, but actually with how we've come together and found new ways to communicate and look after one another, we must carry it forward into the new world as well.
And learn from the mistakes of this time, and learn from what fuses can get lit if we're not careful. If we're not careful with who is out there as a spokesperson for humanity, that's not giving proper information, because we're in a real, dilemma, quandary of misinformation. I'd love to think that justice and truth will prevail, and maybe it will. Maybe this is a real temperature check for the world. Well, I really appreciate talking to you, and I look forward to talking to you in the future.
No, thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Neil. You be well, my
I
best
shall
to your
reach out
family.
to you and try not to drive you mad.
No,
you.
It'll be awesome. You're awesome. Take care, man.
Thank you.
Thanks
really appreciate it. Be well yourself.
Back at you.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that's another episode of Bob Saget's Here For You. And I'm Bob Saget, and I am here for you. How freaking goony was that? Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. I'll be doing this again. I'll let you guys know when I announce it on Twitter or Instagram stories or Facebook. I'll tell you when I'm calling you guys. There's a number up there you can leave a message on. It's an honor to call you. I wish you well. You want to subscribe. You want to rate and review and comment. That's what you want to do. Rate, review, and comment, because that always helps. And say something nice. Even if you didn't love every moment, say something good. What the hell? I can't. Why do I have to hear negative shit? I don't see no reason. So if you can just, because I got great grammar, that's what you'll do. Your comment will be, his grammar's bad. And I go, "Tain't my fault." I said, "Tain't." That's a good review right there. So that's what you do. You rate, review, subscribe, or follow, depending on how you listen to podcasts. It's been a pleasure to talk to you guys. I hope it entertained you a little bit and made your day a little bit better. And I hope you have a good day, and wishing you lots of health to you and your family and all that good stuff. All right, take it easy.